Okay, commit that. Fix tempo mode tempo blocks being hidden when they shouldn't be. Right. Let's go back to that stupid project that I was doing. I was about to try and create some kind of halfway decent sounding. This is a problem that I've wanted to fix forever, which is when you have like a sample offset. Oh, look at that jiggling. What's that going on there? It's interacting with the snapping points in a strange way. Oh no, what's going on there? That's interesting. So I'm holding down shift to, usually when you drag this left edge, you get this effect. But instead I'm holding down shift to reveal the data that is hidden behind there. So when it hits a snapping point, what's it doing? I can't tell what it's doing. Can't get my head around that. That's really interesting. What is it doing? I can't get my head around it. Just modifying data offset. Let me get to here. That actually does make sense, but it's so unintuitive. I see what's going on. That's not a bug. That's just surprising. Because it looks like it's jiggling when you're... Like if you drag it like that, then it makes sense, right? But if you're holding down shift to adjust the data offset, maybe it is a bug. Yeah. There's two ways that I could do this. And I think they're both equally valid, except one of them is confusing to the user when they see it. Like, they're both technically valid, the way I could do this. The way that I've got it set up at the moment is kind of confusing when you see it, even though it's technically doing the right thing. Basically, I'm snapping the position and size of the block, but the data offset is still just following exactly what the mouse cursor is doing. Let me think if that might be a really easy fix. Let me just have a quick look. Snapping. Snap, 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 snap. How does this stuff work? Snap result. Snap report item. Snappable item, position, size. Well, it's been a while since I've looked at this code. But I think it's pretty simple. So this is a structure representing the current position and size of an item that I want to apply snapping to. And when I say apply a snapping, I have this make request. When I say apply a snapping, I think what I mean is search for a nearby snapping point, and if there is one, then adjust that position and size to snap to it. Make indicator. The fuck is that? This pass a request. Wow, what a beautiful interface this is. We pass a request and we get a result. It seems so simple. Make result with a request. Make result. Item. Yeah, I see. So this is if no snapping happens. Let me just do that. This stuff is all like looking. Try snap to the lane point. So we look for a point to snap to. Make result, request point. So really what we want to do is we want to say if a snap did happen, then adjust the data offset accordingly if we are currently modifying the data offset, I suppose, something like that. Then there's a little bit of it's a little bit scary because I do some complicated shit where if I just turn off snapping for a second. What happened with the waveform then? Was that broken? Something weird happened then. Oh! Waveform caching issue. This happens so rarely that it's hard to catch. So at one of these caching levels, I have an incorrect waveform that's been generated. I could reset it by doing that. I did create a note here on the back burner because I saw it happen. It's really rare for that to happen. It's part of the like waveform. I have to optimize the fuck out of waveform rendering because it's such an expensive thing. I can't just like render waveforms from scratch every time. So I like cache them at certain zoom levels. Yeah, so okay, just to confirm that is still an issue. I'll have to look at that at some point. What was I was talking about? Okay, if I left click and drag on this left edge and start dragging, then while I'm still dragging, hold down shift and then release shift, and I can continue like that. Press, release, press, release, press, release. So I don't know if that's going to become a problem here, because I can't remember how that's actually achieved. That's it seems like a simple thing, but it's a bit deceptively simple. The That's actually quite a tricky problem doing that. So I can't remember how it works, but we'll see. Oh, and then when I undo it, undoes the entire operation. Redo, undo, redo. Because every time you release, every time you press the shift key, it's like, okay, we're adjusting the data offset from this point, and then you release and it stops. Snap. Press it correctly, please. Snap. Okay, can we use oh wait, I can just use this, right? Here we go. Calculate root position fixed size. Make root position resize left. Ah, yeah. So, if the result was snapped, is it really this simple? If we currently, this is just a boolean, telling us whether or not we're currently changing the data offset by holding down the shift key. So if it was snapped, can't be this simple, right? It can't be. I don't believe it for a second. Might be plus equals. I didn't think about it very carefully. Anytime I'm writing minus equals or plus equals, it could actually be the opposite of what I did. So this snaps to here. There we go. It works. Wow. Looks good to me.